The Cyclops is finally in the shop. The legendary flagship can be obtained. The Artemis can be purchased from VIP. Whew, but are they worth it? Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and this video has been sponsored by the makers of Infinite Galaxy. And today we're getting a quick look at the Cyclops, how it's now obtained, and hopefully there'll be some other ways to obtain it as well, and the new VIP bundles, which do look promising, although they still cost you a pretty penny. So, to get the Cyclops, the legendary flagship, which is, by the way, the equivalent of the Brontis at the legendary tier, you've got to currently go in and buy it. Okay, there is a limited time special. I don't know when it's going to be back or what form it's going to show up in. It's now been here 2 days in a row. We purchased this yesterday. We'll crack them open and see if we get it. They're right over here, these Cyclops treasures, where theoretically a single Cyclops treasure could land you 50 of the blueprints. Okay, that'd be nice. Don't know what the odds are, but I'm guessing you're going to get something on the lower end of things on average. You know, it's just typically how this sort of stuff works. And then, well, after you've unlocked it, you can go to your trade center, make your way to the blueprints section. Only after you've gotten the 50 fragments you need to unlock this sucker can you go in and use your Federation Advanced credits to rank it up. But let's see if the purchase I made yesterday is going to be enough. If I go to my depot, I go to probably the other section. There they are. 6 Cyclops treasures. Is it going to get me an unlock of the Cyclops, or do we need to pick up this bundle again? Let's find out now. Here we go. Well, that definitely wasn't what I was expecting. That's a mega rip. Can I get some Fs in the chat? It's like I'm streaming. Can I get some Fs in the comments for my savage poll? Wow, that's gross. Okay, so sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. There's no way that it could be that bad for me 2 times in a row, right? Let's just buy these bundles real quick and find out. Okay, there we go. The second purchase is in, all set. Thank you. Couldn't possibly get a donut twice in a row, could I? I mean, there's no way. What are the chances that that would happen? It just seems so unlikely that I'd get 12 of these things ripped open and get 0 total, right? 10. I've gotten 10. Oof. So, for me to even be able to summon this thing at the rate that this is going is going to be in the realm of $100 to get the 50 frags. That's probably on the unlucky end of things so far, right? If it's like a little over $10 for the 2 bundles, that was like $6 and $5. I mean, I think I just got unlucky, but let me know down below in the comments. Was I just unlucky, or is this par for the course? I don't actually know, but let's do this. Maybe they're going to show up now in these secret prototype devices, right? Maybe there'll be a Brontis? No. Okay. Cyclops. Maybe there'll be a Cyclops in there. Maybe, right? It could happen, couldn't it? Couldn't it? Well, no, I mean, maybe it could, but I certainly did not end up with one. So that's a little bit curious. I've got a few of these secret prototype devices. Come on, baby. Hit me. Okay. You win some and you lose some, and today it looks like I'm going to lose some. What I'll mention about the Cyclops, for players that have been in the game for a longer period of time, our flagships have every single one of the outfitting slots open at the legendary tier. That's just because they didn't used to have restrictions in game, and when they added them later, they left our flagships all unbound. So players that are really, really new to the game are probably not even going to want to invest in a legendary flagship other than the ones they've already got, just because of all of these outfitting slots that will be available to you for free just by virtue of having an older account in the game. Now, if you're a newer player into the game and that's not the case, then hunting after something like the Cyclops is definitely more compelling. And I'll point out that my Brontis here, after about 3 months of gameplay and, a non-trivial amount of spending, is sitting at a 4-3-3-3-3 for the skills, okay? And that is giving me 24%, 25% warship attack, 66% against frigates, 20% attack and hit points, 33% all warship attack there. And I'm mentioning this because to get an equivalent Cyclops is going to take some serious investment, by the way. So in order to get to that point, I don't know exactly what rank you'd need to be to have this, but you need to have the second skill at least a 2 to be better. This skill over here needs to be at a 2. I mean, every skill needs to be ranked 2 in order to be slightly better, I think, than the Brontis that I've got already. And, okay, maybe that's a oversimplification of the comparison. There are other factors as well, but I'm just mentioning that because just unlocking this flagship, which, by the way, I think for free-to-play players, the Cyclops might be like the best legendary flagship to be working with because your cruisers die last in a big encounter, which means that encounters that you win, no cruisers of yours are going to die at all. That's a separate topic I think we need to explore more in a different video. For now, I'll just say this would be a really good flagship to get if we could get a little bit more lucky, and hopefully that bundle shows up for like the 10 days it's going to take me to freaking unlock this sucker. And then I'll have to decide if it's something I want to use my Federation Advance credits on. On the topic of where I've been putting my Federation Advance credits, in the VIP section, now in the earlier levels of VIP as promised, not only can you actually purchase them multiple times, but they've got the Artemis. Now, the Artemis is really a flagship designed for whales. The first ship that dies in an encounter or even gets injured at all, wounded, needs to be repaired, is going to be your frigates. So there's a lot of value to having ultra tanky frigates in front of everybody else's units. There's definitely value there, but man, I feel like it is a whale's flagship. Not only because of this way that you're going to be getting it, it is not cheap, but because the first things that die are frigates. And unless you've got a lot of speed ups that you can invest and a lot of resources to invest in building up more frigates, you are going to lose a lot of them. So I'm going to put a little more investment now into my Artemis. And I am, let's see here, 780 frags away from the next upgrade. That's going to give me a ton more armor and shields, which is what this flagship is designed to do. Just make those frigates so tanky. So I'm going to go now and we're going to make some purchases. We're going to go and get the VIP we need here. And in general, the lower tiers of the VIP are better value. So there might be a more optimal combination of pickups here to do this in. I figure I'm going to just eventually buy all of these anyways, so I'm not going to be very particular in the order in which I buy these bundles. However, it's just worth mentioning that I think the best value is at the lowest tiers. That's dollars per fragment you get. I could be wrong about that, but just be mindful of that as you're going in and you're making your purchases here if you are purchasing in this shop. And as a quick reminder, something that I like to say a lot is that you should always invest in the things in your life that are most likely to give you satisfaction and happiness. And for most people, that is things like saving for retirement, having an emergency fund, and although I'm no financial advisor, getting out of and staying out of debt. So let's go now and make some purchases ourselves to go and get some flagship blueprints, shall we? I think what I'm going to go for over here is, well, it's easy to do the math. 400 of these, boom. One thing I'll just call attention to as I'm making these purchases is that the dispatch chips are really valuable for updating or upgrading your rally center. So keep that in mind in the VIP 6 bundle. That is something that's in there that actually gives you a little bit of incremental value on something that otherwise you're probably spending corium on. I think that's actually a pretty decent extra pickup. Okay, there we go. The purchases we've needed to get the next upgrade are all in Artemis blueprints. A whole heck of a lot of them. We just picked up 800. Again, I really do feel the longer that I play this game that this flagship is really oriented towards whales. And I'm pretty hyped for the benefit I'm going to get here from the extra tankiness. Let's go and make this modification now. And one last thing. Just if we look at the stats over here, all right, you can see we're going to get a pretty decent boost to these stats as well. Getting a little bit of extra attack, hit points for the flagship. Really, it's the attack that I'm most interested in, the damage output. I'd like to do as much damage as possible with these flagships. I get the Artemis will actually be a more tanky flagship, but let's go and get this upgrade done now. Use a little bit of these resource tokens. Now we smash the modify button, and we unlock that new skill. Bada boom. It looks like we would have unlocked this right over here, the extra modification slot, which is kind of a big deal. And now our Artemis is ranked up one more time, up to rank 8. Next rank will be 9. Rank 9 gives a lot. It's 950 of those frags to get there, but it's going to give me, was that almost 40% more shields, which is amazing. It's going to give a bunch more, 14% more navigate speed, a bunch more hit points for frigates. I mean, that is all of this extra kinetic attack is totally on plan. That is a major upgrade getting to rank 9. And wow, it even looks like way different. Look at that. Visually, we get a jump here in how this thing looks. That's actually kind of cool. Okay. Wow. I didn't know that was a thing. Sweet. When it jumps up to that gold tier, I noticed that when my Brontus got to the next tier. It looks slightly different over here. That is kind of cool. Huh. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, throw a like on here. Consider subscribing for Infinite Galaxy videos designed to help you get value and smash your enemies. And until next time, you have fun smashing your nebula.